doing the same to anyone. Pwede na pong sabihin, patayin mo si Senador ganito pag itong nangyari. Patayin mo si Congressman ganito pag ganito nangyari. Patayin mo si Justice ganito pag ganito nangyari. So imagine, Your Honor, the anarchy, the disorder, and the chaos it would bring to our country.
Ang galing ng pag-practice mo dyan. Heto na nga, no? Nagpakita na ang pangalawang witness. Ito rong si Lotok. Si Lotok. Si Lotok ay parang PDP. Dito sa video na ito, napapansin natin na parang, napipilitan siyang maging witness. Pinipilit talaga na may kasalanan si VPSara kahit wala. Halatang halata mo. Nakaganon pa yung yung kanyang mukha parang nagdadalawang isip tapos hindi makatingin sa sa mga nagtatanong sa kanya. Parang yung kanyang mata halatang halata na ayaw niyang makipag eye to eye. So,
para makuha lang yung boto ng mga tao, dinagmura na siya PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos and Martin Romualdez, Your Honor.
What do you mean by PI?
Putang ina, sir.
Okay. You said that you found these three comparisons disturbing. Now, these three, ano yung significance ng three comparisons nito sa investigasyon nyo? Kung meron man.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on these patterns and consistencies in the utterances made by the Vice President, it appears that these statements have tendency to steer up the people against the government, have tendency to disturb the peace of the community, have tendency to undermine the peace and order, the public peace and order.
Pero bakit malakas pa rin ang rating?
Mr. Witness, given all these findings, sinabi mo, seryoso, tsaka totoo, yung mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente, anong ginawa ng division mo, kung meron man, in relation to the investigation?
We executed, Your Honor, affidavit of investigation, and we recommended criminal charges. 3 counts for grave threats and 1 count for inciting to sedition, sir.
Your Honor, now,
Halata
na-mention mo
naman ng
yung
NBI,
affidavit of investigation.
Bias rin eh.
For clarity, anong date ng affidavit of investigation na nasabi mo?
February 10, 2024.
February
2025, sir.
February 10, kung yung affidavit of investigation and the annexes ipapakita sa iyo, ma-identify mo ba yung affidavit na ito?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now a copy of the affidavit of investigation. May petsang February 10, 2025 that is previously marked for the prosecution as Exhibit P Roman numeral 4-3. You peruse the documents and access. I move that the defense be allowed to peruse the same. And the question is, what do these documents have? What relation, if any, do these documents have with the documents you mentioned?
Ano ba yan?
Counsel for both parties may approach.
Yan, inuungkat na yung mga ebidensya dyan. Tingnan ng natin kung...
Manifestation, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
Your Honor, we just like to manifest, Your Honor, that the marked document, permanently marked by the prosecution, does not contain any annexes, and the other set of documents that he is comparing it to has affidavit annexes, Your Honor.
I can reply to that, Your Honor, please. If I
Counsel
may.
for the prosecution will please reply.
Number one, the affidavit of investigation, the annexes thereto, ay makikita yung mga annexes, most of them, as separate documents that have been pre-marked. Ulitin ko, yung mga hinahanap ng depensa ng mga annexes sa affidavit of investigation, nasa record ng Senado yan because na-marka separately because they have been identified separately also by the previous witness. I hope that satisfies.
Counsel, what does counsel for the respondent say?
Your Honor, is that an admission that the affidavit of investigation was stripped of its annexes?
No. Your Honor, if I may, klaro namang sinabi ko. Can I reply to that, Your Honor, please?
Chair would like to clarify the matter instead. Are all the annexes listed and identified in the footnotes of the affidavit of investigation marked or pre-marked by the prosecution?
I can answer that. Most of them, Your Honor, please, and I can identify ano yung mga hindi na marked tsaka yung reason.
So most, not all.
Yes, Your Honor, please.
And for the record, that the affidavit of investigation that the witness is identifying and that you have marked does not contain any of the annexes mentioned in the affidavit of investigation, without prejudice, of course, to the annexes that you already marked.
Yes, Your Honor.
And identified by either this or other witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor. Not attached specifically to the affidavit, but found in the same record of the
Not
court.
attached to the document that the witness is identifying right now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does that satisfy the counsel for the
Your Honor, we're
respondent?
not objecting as to how they marked it. We're just manifesting it for the
That
record.
it's not there.
Yes.
Yes.
So noted. Witness
you.
may answer.
Yeah, this is the same document that I...
Okay. Yeah, you have.
Your Honor, this is the same document that I mentioned.
Okay. May proceed, Your Honor, please.
You may proceed.
Now, Attorney Lotok, sorry.
You may proceed.
Attorney Loto, in paragraphs 202 tsaka 203 ng naging answer ng Vice President dated May 25, 2026 to the articles of impeachment, which document forms part of the record of these courts. Sinasabi ng Vice President na she was merely exercising her freedom of expression. Freedom of expression, sinabi niya. That's protected, yung pagbabanta niya. Are you aware of this defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Loto, as a lawyer and as the head of the NBI Cybercrime Division, that's the basis, Your Honor.
Ang daming drama niya eh.
Do you agree with this?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for an opinion. This is not part of the investigation.
She's a lawyer, Your Honor. That's a
It
matter
does
of-
call for an opinion, and it's not part of their investigation, counsel. Kindly reform your question. I know where you're getting at, but kindly reform your question.
Okay. Your Honor,
Ang daming dramang question
Attorney Loto,
eh.
you are aware of the defense
Yes,
that
sir.
it's a freedom of
Akala niya siguro
expression.
ano eh.
Okay.
Madadala tayo.
In your
dyan.
investigation, did you consider this, if at all, and if any?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sure.
Leader.
There's basis, if at all, if any.
Witness may answer.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. We consider that whether magfo-fall ba siya sa confines ng freedom of speech.
And what was your finding? That's the basis now. What was your finding?
Well, una, three reasons, Your Honor, if okay lang. Una, when the second highest official of the land openly and publicly uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the highest official of the land, the First Lady and the former Speaker, and that she instructed the person to be relentless in killing them, we failed to see any amount of freedom of speech in that utterances, Your Honor. That's number one. Number
Bias ka
two,
lang. At that time.
we talk to ourselves, if we allow the argument that it is within the bounds of freedom of speech, if we allow that to become the norms of our society, then who would prevent anybody from doing the same to anyone? Pwede na pong sabihin, patayin mo si Senador ganito pag ito nangyari. Patayin mo si
Talatang
Congressman ganito pag
pinagpraktisan
ganito nangyari. Patayin mo si Justice ganito pag ganito nangyari. So imagine, Your Honor, the anarchy, the disorder, and the chaos it would bring to our country.
Ang galing ng pag-practice mo dyan ah.
Number three, Your Honor, as
Pero parang hindi makatingin eh.
as a lawyer and being in the law enforcement, freedom of speech protects lawful expression, but it does not protect utterances that satisfies the elements of a criminal offense, like this one, Your Honor.
Satisfies the elements
This is,
of a criminal offense like this one.
wala namang laman.
Ito yung tanong now. Attorney Loto,
Oh.
based on your finding, based on your affidavit of investigation,
May paganon-ganon pa yung mukha.
did the Vice President commit a crime?
Based on our
Objection,
findings,
Your Honor. Leading and calls for conclusion of
This is
law.
based on his investigation. Let the witness answer.
Sustained, but the presiding officer will ask the question to the witness. Based on your investigation, Attorney Loto,
yes, sir.
was
Yes,
there
Your Honor.
enough basis to file a criminal complaint, as you did, for the crimes you charged the Vice President with? Prima facie evidence only, ha? Not as to whether or not she indeed committed it or not, because only a court of justice can determine that.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on our findings, we believe that the Vice President committed the crime of grave threats and inciting to sedition.
Only insofar as satisfying the requirement of prima facie evidence sufficient to file a case.
Prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction.
Yes, that would be a more complete description
Nasa likod
of
yung mga
what you have
crocs.
to comply with before you can file a case.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes po.
Counsel may proceed.
Thank you so much. Let's continue. Attorney Lotok, kita magpapadayon hininaton mga pakiana nga naimo pagbaton hininaton mga
Your Honor,
pakiana.
Your Honor.
What? What's
May
your
I
objection?
be allowed to make a manifestation? Your Honor, as I understand, only Filipino and
my goodness.
English was
Be careful.
because I cannot understand, Your Honor, what he was saying. So can we just ask that he states his statement in Filipino or English, Your Honor?
Your Honor, Filipino language encompasses all the languages, dialects. It includes our very own waray-waray.
But
Counsel, the rules state only Filipino and English, but I will let it go once in a while, but not each time.
we will submit, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may proceed, counsel, for the prosecutors.
Now, you mentioned that the respondent's lawyer, Attorney Lim, through a letter said that the Vice President was confident in your office's assurance that the alleged threats to her were also being investigated. Malala mo sagot mo yun doon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, What did the NBI do, if any, on the alleged threats? This time, sinasabi niya, to her, to the Vice President, kung meron man.
Yes, Your Honor, we started the investigation on the alleged threat against the life of the Vice President.
You started. So, what was the result? If any, if at all, if you know, to that investigation?
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we issued a letter dated December 2, 2024, we informed the Vice President that we are investigating on that alleged threat against her life and that we want information, any information that would give us any investigative lead on that matter, Your Honor. Unfortunately, the Vice President did not appear. So wala ho kaming makitang pagsisimulan na imbestigahan. Well, naging may nakita kami sa I think 75 PNP personnel insofar as the security of the Vice President is concerned. Per record sa news na inalis sa BPSPG and then inilipat sa Manila. And
Mahina ang kaso
I think
nila.
the reason being is that
Talagang pinuforce nila na may kasalanan si VPSara.
Pero yun po yung
Nakita
medyo
naman.
nakikita naming security issues.
Now, if you know, no? Ilan ba yung natira sa Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group? If you know. Pagkatapos ma-remove yung sinasabi mong 75 personnel of that VPSPG, if you know.
Well, based on if I'm not mistaken, based on the record, the COA record, I think more or less 335 security personnel. Kung di ako nagkakamali, base doon sa
335 personnel protecting a single person, the Vice President?
based on that record, Your Honor, based on the news, yeah.
335. Last point, Your Honor, please.
Wind up, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Witness, you mentioned earlier that your office considered in its investigation in the November 23, 2024 online briefing na aside kay respondent yung Vice Presidente tsaka yung mga media personalities, okay, na nabanggit mo, sino pa, kung meron pa, yung nandun sa online briefing na yun, kung alam mo?
Well, yung pinakaunang part ng video, si Attorney Zulaika Lopez.
Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Witness, ano yung na-observe mo kung meron man, okay, about Attorney Zulaika Lopez during that online media briefing?
Objection vague, Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor, what's vague? Okay.
Witness is smart enough to answer if he knows. Witness may answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, based on that video, it appears na nagko-complain si Attorney Zulaika referring doon sa paglipat niya from SOR to women correction facilities, I think. And then yung health issue niya, so parang kinu-complain din niya na yun.
Okay.
At yung nangyari sa kanyang pagka-held in custody sa SOR.
All right. Now, Attorney Lotok, what significance, if any, do these complaints the Attorney Lopez have, okay, in your investigation on the threats made by the Vice President in that online media briefing?
Yes, Your Honor, we take that into account.
Naglo-loading.
Tinignan namin yung sitwasyon, yung issue ni Attorney Zulaika. But when we see the bigger picture, taking all the pieces of the puzzle, it has nothing to do with the Vice President contracting a person, because even before Zulaika Lopez appeared in that video, the Vice President had already contracted a person to kill the President and Lisa Marcos and the former Speaker. And when we consider all the facts and circumstances, the instance where Attorney Zulaika was complaining does not diminish, it does not alter, it does not affect the totality of the findings that we have in our investigations, right?
Senator Judge, is counsel for the prosecutors done? Attorney Ligutan, are you done?
Yes, Your Honor.
You done? Before
Tapos
cross-examination, Chair would like to recognize, with the permission of Senator Judge JV, Senator Judge Bam Aquino had earlier sought recognition. Chair will recognize him first. Thereafter, Senator Judge Tulfo, Erwin. Thereafter, Senator Judge Ejercito, and then Senator Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Aquino is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Yes, maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotok,
Yes,
meron
po,
pa po bang ibang grupo sa NBI ang nag-imbestiga doon po sa mga utterances ni Vice President Sara Duterte noong November 23 to 24?
During our time, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, yung Cybercrime Division, Your Honor, and the team that was yung binuo ni former Judge, Director Judge.
So kayo lang po?
At that time, sir, hindi ko na po alam ngayon kung sino yung mga team na, kasi nalipat na po ako sa ibang region. Sir.
Okay. Yung tanong ko po kasi ay nakatukoy dun sa taong nakausap o sinasabing na kontrata ni Vice President Sara Duterte para patayin yung Presidente, First Lady at former Speaker. So tinuloy niyo po ba yung investigasyon para mahanap ang taong ito?
Well, aside from the fact, Your Honor, na nag-issue kami ng subpoena sa Vice President para makakuha ng information, kasi we need a validated information, we need a confirmed information. Nung inissuean namin ng subpoena yung mga media personalities, bawat isa sa kanila na nag-appear, tinanong din po namin, nandoon ka ba nung sinabi ito ng Vice Presidente?
Hindi ko po tinatanong kung sinabi ba ito o hindi. Dahil may witness rin po tayo nung nakaraang linggo na nasabi nga ito at napanood naman natin
Opo.
lahat. Ang tanong ko, tinuloy niyo ba yung investigasyon para matukoy ang taong ito?
Nagtanong kami, Your Honor. We tried to elicit information both from those people who have personal knowledge during the online press conference. Unfortunately, wala kaming ma-establish na validated information na confirm. So, in fact, hanggang ngayon, nag-aantay po kami. Hindi ho katulad dito sa nangyari, may apparent commission of the crime dahil nandiyan yung video eh.
So ang ibig niyo pong sabihin, bilang NBI, hindi niyo nahanap yung taong ito, pero literal niyo tong sabi nyo, literal, itong pag-assess nyo dun sa statement dahil ito mismo yung nasabi ng Vice President.
Well, Your Honor, if the second...
Ayan. Humihina kasi yung internet kasi umuulan. Patuloy. Refresh.
Highest official of the land, sinabi yan. Hindi ho biro yan. Medyo mabigat ho yan. At yung pagkasabi pa niya na may kasamang galit at mga pagmumura. So we took it very serious, Your Honor.
Alright, I have a question for the defense. Sa lahat ng mga sagot ninyo, Attorney Vinluan, parang hindi ko nakita na tinanggi ng inyong kliyente o ng depensa na may nakausap ang Vice Presidente na tao para gawin yung mga bagay na ito. Tama ba? Wala ito sa mga sagot ninyo?
We deny that, Your Honor.
You deny?
That is not accurate, Your Honor, and we will present evidence or counter evidence.
Okay, so let me clarify. Sa lahat ng sagot ninyo so far, hindi pa nyo tinatanggi ito, pero in your time presenting evidence, you will deny that there was a person contracted by the Vice President.
Your Honor, to clarify, I don't understand, Your Honor, when we were asked, but
in your answer,
Tibam.
you have an answer. There is an impeachment.
we
complaint.
denied it, Your Honor. We denied it in our answer, which we filed before the Senate Impeachment Court.
You denied it in your answer?
Correct, Your Honor.
If I remember correctly, ang nabanggit doon ay freedom of expression. Was there an exact statement there na hindi totoo na meron ngang kinontrata ang Vice Presidente o kinausap ang Vice Presidente para gawin ito?
We maintain our position that we denied it, Your Honor.
Okay.
It is there in our answer.
Mr. President, I don't want to take up time, but I do want to check the official records and look for this because I don't remember seeing that in any of your answers, Mr.
Your Honor, all allegations were denied.
It's a general denial, a blanket denial.
There were, that was the general denial, and there were also specific denials.
Okay, we'll take a look, Mr. Presiding Officer. Hanapin natin to with, and if I may come back to this once we take a look at the records. Mr.
Tibam,
Presiding Officer.
dilawang-dilawan yung narrative.
Gentlemen may
Tibam.
do so at the appropriate time. With the permission of Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, since nakatayo na po si Senator Judge Ejercito, ang papaunahin ko na bumuna siya. Senator Judge Tulfo, Ejercito is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tanong ko lang, no, just to clarify, may we know if the NBI has the authority to issue subpoena against impeachable officials? Kasi kanina po, no, sa mga pinisend kanina, subpoena po ang inyo pinadala sa Vice President instead of a mere invitation. Yun lang po, clarify ko lang po.
Yes, Your Honor. Under Republic Act 10867, the NBI has authority to issue subpoena. And as a matter of fact, the case involving the Vice President falls under Section 5, Paragraph G, which the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigation, Your Honor.
Likewise, for the information may we know what constitutes a grave threat that will prompt the NBI to conduct an investigation as compared to a light threat? No? What are the elements that are needed to be present to be considered a grave threat?
Well, for grave threat, Your Honor, if naalala ko siya, if a person threatens another person with the infliction upon the latter's person, property, or honor, or that of the latter's family, with a wrong or with any wrong amounting to a crime, if that threat is with condition or without condition, or with involved with monetary consideration, yun po, Your Honor, yung kabuuan nung sa grave
So
threat.
yung grave threat po, may condition. Or walang
The
condition?
crime of grave threat, Your Honor, can be committed with or without condition.
With
based
or
on the
without
law, Your Honor.
condition. So as an investigator, have you ever investigated and filed a complaint for grave threats apart from this one?
Again, Your Honor.
As an investigator, have you filed any case or investigated and filed a case for grave threats against anyone aside from this, excluding this one?
I think May, kasi nag-start po kasi ako as counter-terrorism and then organized crime group and then cybercrime. Wala akong maalala, Your Honor, kundi ito lang. I mean, so far as my being in the NBI is concerned, Your Honor.
Yan
So
lang talaga.
ito lamang
Kasi
yung
pinaghira ninyo ng
ito pala yung
politika.
kaso na naimbestigahan nyo concerning grave threats, you know?
I think yung iba, may mga naimbestigahan, Your Honor. Pero again, sabi ko, yung sa sarili ko po, yung experience ko from counter-terrorism hanggang sa organized transnational crime group,
wala.
sa cybercrime division,
Bias
inaalala
ka.
ko lang, Your Honor, kasi matagal na ho yun kung ano yung nasa record. I think itong grave threats na to is
Bias ka lang.
pag hindi first time, doon ko lang na-experience.
Kasi first time mo
Gaano
naging
katagal
bias.
kayong parte nitong cybercrime division? Bago kayo nalipat?
Since 2018, Your Honor, nagsimula ako bilang investigation agent. And then 2022, I was designated as chief of the Digital Forensic Laboratory Division. And then 2023, designated as chief of the Cybercrime Division, sir.
So more than 5 years kayong nandito sa cybercrime division ng NBI.
Opo.
That's all, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Aristide. Senator Judge Tulfo Irwin is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. President or Presiding Officer. I'd like to direct my clarificatory question to the witness on the stand,
Mayabang rin to
Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Jeremy Lontok,
Opo, Your Honor.
what findings, if any, convince the NBI the motive of the respondent to kill the president and 2 other people? Meron po bang kayong nakitang motibo? Kasi maaari pong sabihin lang nung isang tao sa sobrang galit niya, napag-usapan na po kanina yan, di ba? Spur of the moment. Pero did you find any motive? Bakit niya po gagawing patayin ang Pangulo?
Yes, Your Honor. As I've said before, when we take into consideration all the facts and circumstances surrounding that issue, nagkaroon ng hindi magandang relasyon yung dalawa, and then nagbato na ang Vice Presidente ng mga salitang mabibigat laban sa Presidente. Pinapakita doon sa October 18 na toxic na nga yung relationship nila. Galit na galit si Sara dahil sinasabi ng Vice Presidente is politically motivated yung pag-attack sa kanya. And then at the same time, pinagtutulungan siya ng buong gobyerno. So, then na-trigger ho yun, if my memory serves me right, nung incident nangyari noong 23 November 2024. So parang nagpatong-patong na ho siya, convolution ng iba't ibang issue. So nakita ho namin, talagang galit ang Vice Presidente sa Presidente.
So, yun lang.
So you saw
Ipapatay na
that
kasi
the
galit.
Vice President is very
Walang
angry,
laman.
right? Galit po siya. Did the investigation uncover any evidence, if there's any, that the respondent had taken steps to carry out these threats or these statements that she made in public and online? Did you have or did you cover any evidence?
Your Honor, insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, we focuses on the investigation on the alleged grave threats and inciting to sedition. Ngayon, pagdating doon ng whether or not meron na-execute na o may inutusan, I think ang makakasagot po niyan, Your Honor, yung aming director kasi sa kanya po yung pool ng information. But at the same time, yung jurisdiction na yan, nasa intelligence service po namin. Kami ho nasa investigation service. So, insofar as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned at that time, nakafocus kami sa grave threat and inciting to sedition. But insofar as whether meron na bang in-engage ang Vice Presidente, jurisdiction ho yan ng aming intelligence service at maybe ang makakasagot niyan yung aming director kasi siya po yung recipient ng full of information from different divisions and regions.
You mean the inciting to sedition will be answered by the director, is that correct? Kasi parang hindi po natalakay kanina yung inciting to sedition. Is it?
Well, Your Honor, the inciting to sedition, in our investigation, we were able to establish that those utterances from 18 October 2024, November 23, 2024, and other facts and circumstances, even the November 26, 2024, we believed that those utterances have a tendency, Your Honor, to stir up the people, to go against the government, have tendency to disturb the public peace of the community. the peace of the community and have tendency to undermine public safety and public order. And I think that's elements of the inciting to sedition, Your Honor.
I have last two questions,
Please proceed.
Mr. Presiding Officer. So you're saying they're intertwined. Killing the president and then inciting the people to revolt against the government, they're intertwined. Is that what you're saying?
Based on our findings, Your Honor.
Based on your findings. And what could be the motive of the vice president inciting people to sedition, to revolt against the government, when in fact she will be the next president of the republic? She's been saying, and everybody knows, and she's been claiming. Why do you think? I mean, did you look deeper? Why incite to sedition? I mean, well, in fact, you're the vice president. Usually, in our country, Mr. Witness, the vice president would run for presidency. What could be the motive?
Well, Your Honor, what we have established is the fact that the relationship between the two was
paulit-ulit na
tied.
yan eh.
And what we established is the fact that the Vice President has committed great threats and inciting to sedition. Yun ho yung focus namin, Your Honor. Insofar as yung mas malalim pa na motibo, wala akong personal knowledge.
All right.
Your Honor.
Well, I'm running out of time. Can you identify the strongest piece of evidence which you relied in deciding to file these cases before the Department of Justice? And what is the status of this case, Mr. Witness?
Well, Your Honor, the pieces of evidence that we attached or we incorporated in our investigation is sufficient and has satisfied the requirements of the quantum of evidence required, which is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. And the fact, Your Honor, that the Department of Justice has issued certification stating that your referral, your transmittal, has complied all the elements of the crime charge and therefore good for preliminary investigation.
What is the status of the case, Mr. Witness?
It's ongoing, Your Honor. If kung tama ang naalala ko, it's ongoing, Your Honor.
One very, very quick question, Mr.
Can you
Presiding
wind
Officer.
up, Senator Judge?
Do you think at this point you have an airtight case against the respondent?
I believe so. Yes, Your Honor. Otherwise, the Department of Justice would not issue a certification stating to the effect na kumpleto ang elements namin, na nakuha namin yung requirement, at ready na siya for preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Tulfo. Senator Judge Ontiveros, Senator Judge Villanueva, and thereafter we pause for a 10-minute break.
Ayan. So mag-break pa sila, no? So yan po ang nangyayari kapag yung witness parang diskumpiyado sila. Pinipilit lang. Ang witness, pinipilit niya maging witness. Yun ang ako, yung aking naobserbahan sa kanya. Pero pinipilit niya eh. Kasi, duda ko rito, syempre, ito mga prosecutors, gagawin ka naming witness. Okay? Tapos ganito yung gawin mo, ganyan. Pinipilit eh. Alam naman natin yung totoong nangyari. Sino ba namang magpapagurgur kay BBM kapag hindi lang si VPSara, nasabi niya yun out of yun, parang galit niya, tanong rin sa vlogger, di ba? So ayan guys mag-comment kayo, mag-react kayo, ilabas niyo ang inyong opinion sa comment section at yan